Hello and welcome to the Work in Progress podcast. I am your host, Daniel, and that's Adam. And today I realized that I did not cover up the 3D models on this page.
Yeah, yeah, but it's kind of my fault for having flesh tone models. So
Well, in any
yeah,
other in any other instance, it would have been artistic nudity, but for YouTube's sake, I gave it
yeah,
the
they
the good
can't.
old
Yeah,
I gave it the good old black bar bikini. Anyways, we
yeah,
have
the machine can't differentiate like artistic nudity and what have you.
I have a lot to talk about. And by a lot to talk about, we have to talk about the nothing of a movie we watched.
Oh yeah, we watched A View to a Kill, which was Roger Moore's last James Bond film.
It was
Yeah.
pretty fucking bad. So like I have we have a James Bond rating chart, right?
Which, by the way, should I share that on YouTube? Because I do realize I kind of made Daniel Craig look like a funny man.
Well, you see, the thing is, I judged them based off of whether or not they were good, bad, or really terrible. Like basically shit, mid, and good based
Yeah,
off
yeah.
of how I remember them. And I remembered this movie in particular being pretty damn bad.
Yeah, yeah. Which again, should I show the chart or should I not?
Yeah, you could show a little bit of it.
A little bit,
Yeah.
just a little bit. So
By the
not the
end,
one where.
by the end of our little journey, we're probably going to make a massive video.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, we're probably going to make a massive video like ranking these sons of guns like on camera and then talking about them.
Yeah, we could probably entertain the idea. Because yeah, I was generally, man. Like, you know what's sad is like that film does have some cool set pieces, but like it's so fucking boring at times.
It's super unbalanced and there's a lot of nothing that happens. So like the opening, he's doing skiing in Russia, getting a microchip thingy off of a corpse.
Yeah,
And then when he finally gets the microchip film thing, he gets his skis shot out from under him. So then he uses the ski from a snowmobile as a as a snowboard, which was really cool. And then he goes into like a really cool ice submarine,
Sorry.
and
Yeah,
you're like, wow,
it's
that's really neat. And then opening of the movie is really fucking boring. Then they go to the
yeah,
Eiffel Tower where there's a really cool stunt and a car chase. And then the rest of the movie is them just talking at some lady's house. Now, the reason why it was like that was because for a few James Bond movies, Pinewood Studios, the place where they actually film a lot of these Bond films, burnt down.
yeah. So they had to like film on location or something or other.
It was the movie Legend that caused it to burn down. So Ridley Scott decided that the magical forest in the movie Legend should look like unreal. So the entire forest in that movie is a soundstage. What?
What about the Tom Cruise legend?
Yep.
Oh wow.
Now what they neglected to double check while making that movie is if dangerous flammable fumes were coming off of the paint that were in the trees. So one guy went to go smoke a cigarette, and the entire like building exploded and caught on fire.
Yeah, it kind of fucked them. So it's just for lack of a word, they fucked them.
Yeah. So while that was under construction, there were a few Bond movies where they had to film like on location.
One of them being like like the literal Eiffel Tower restaurant. Yeah,
Yeah, they literally went to the Eiffel Tower restaurant in that movie, which is kind of cool. It's kind of cool. You
that's
never really
actually
get to see it ever.
that's actually like I'm gonna be honest with you. I had no idea there was a restaurant in the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, there's an entire shopping center in the fucking Eiffel Tower, dude.
How big is the Eiffel Tower inside?
It's so there's different tiers of it. There's that bottom tier that's like a giant square. That's where like
Yeah.
the shops are and stuff. and then all the
Yeah.
way at the top is the restaurant. There's also a secret room for the guy that built it.
No, no shit.
Yeah. He has like a secret office room.
Yeah, I honestly have absolutely like. I guess that goes to show you how little I knew about the Eiffel, because I know obviously you could go inside it and go to the top and everything, but I just did not know what that entailed. Like I didn't know there was more to it.
One thing I will say about all of these Bond movies is that they definitely like what I really appreciate about them, even though like this one was pretty bad, was the fact that they're all like time capsules.
Yeah,
Because you're like, oh wow, look at that! It's the San Francisco Bridge from the '80s.
yeah, it's pretty funny.
Boy,
Could have sworn I did.
you know, for a movie that had Christopher Walken as the villain, he was kind of underutilized.
Yeah, it kind of was. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was also parts of that film that we were riffing on where it was like, oh, what's a good example? Like, there's a bit where they talk about who he is, and it's like, yes, he is fluent in 6 languages, no accent. I'm like,
You hired
what does that mean?
Christopher Walken to play
You know,
a character.
To be fair, in that film, he doesn't sound like this that often in the film. Now that I think about it,
Yeah,
but
no,
like,
he plays it pretty fucking straight. The only two times that he actually starts sounding goofy is closer to the end when he violently assassinates every single one of his goons.
yeah, oh god, that was hilarious. Like, I like the one guy that's like climbing up the thing, and he fucking like belts him in the face.
I like the guy that's trying to climb out of the water and gets violently electrocuted by like wiring and shit.
Yeah,
It's such a brute. Like the movie is a whole bunch of nothing, and then they just have this massive brutal execution right at the end, which is very strange.
yeah,
But yeah, no. When he decides to get on his branded Zeppelin before he sinks the entire fucking Salt Lake City underwater by exploding the fault lines, James Bond ties his fucking blimp onto the Golden Gate
the
Bridge.
Golden Gate Bridge. Yeah,
And then he's like, more power.
more power. Yeah,
That's the only time that he really Christopher Walken's out.
yeah. I was genuinely shocked at how like, you know, his character dies, but then like the other 2 guys are still alive within the blimp, still trying to kill Bond.
We're only talking about the part where anything happened. Like,
Well, there was actually one bit I wanted to like talk about because I was like dying of laughter at work when I was thinking about this, which was when he goes to that rich girl's house, and so he goes to this like rich girl's house, and the house is like predominantly empty except for like her bedroom. And I remember I joked with you saying like, did he walk into a fucking horror film set or something? Like, what's going on here? And you were like, oh yeah, it kind of does look like a horror film set, yeah.
it honestly, it looks like an indie game house where you get chased by grandma.
Yeah, yeah, or like one of those like weird liminal like stupid space things or what have you. Yeah. But the part that was like making me laugh was when you pointed out the fact that like he has a now maybe you can name the ammo type, but like he gets a shotgun, but it's not like live ammunition.
Oh,
so what was it exactly?
It's filled with rock salt. So yeah, that's a deterrent round.
So he's firing at them with this, and he's like, "What the hell's this loaded with?" It's like rock salt. Now he does eventually like beat the guys up enough where they basically like fuck off in the car, but like he still fires at them with the gun. And I remember you joked being like, "I bet those guys are just in the car, be like, ow, ow."
Ooh, stop! Ooh, ooh.
How much does rock salt hurt?
It's salt. You know, salting a wound.
Oh,
So imagine like the first layer of your skin breaks open, you're bleeding, and now there's salt in there, like it's embedded in there. Yeah, that's getting shot by rock salt.
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't be nice.
No, it would be pretty fucking bad.
Yeah. By the way, if you're wondering why I haven't done anything just yet, I'm just trying to think how I want this scene to play out in my head.
Yeah,
Yeah. Sorry, just bear with me. I will get something done. Just let me think for a
I'm
second.
just gonna skip the redlining over the fucking shit because these are actually the irony of using these models is that it does actually cover up a whole bunch of like it actually like the eyes are in the right place and the heads are the right sizes and shit.
Right, right. The only reason why I don't use DAS all too often is because I the interface I don't quite like having to fuck around with a lot, you know.
It's just because you don't really use it that much.
Yeah, it is probably just a case of I need to practice more because there is some good stuff you can get out of those DAS models as like, bases. So
Yeah.
maybe I just need to spend a day just fucking around with it a bit more often. But I mean, to be fair though, I just switch between whatever the fuck works at the moment. So
Gonna have to review
Ugh.
previous
And then-
page because I can't remember.
I know what's coming up next in this one. I'm just trying to think how I want to visualize this. I'm just looking at the script right now.
Do you remember the 20th of September when I punched you in the face? On and on. Suddenly you'll remember. On and on. I punched you in September. Hello, beef. My wife is here.
Hello.
She's searching for something.
Do you want to tell the funny thing that happened with your cat like just a moment ago?
Oh, yeah, we were going to record, and then I had to deal with some shit because turns out my friend's cat um, decided to start stealing my breakfast while I was on the bathroom. While I was in the
Yeah.
bathroom, this little bastard came up on my desk, which he's a big cat. I was like, there's no way that he's going to be able to like balance himself on my desk where there's no room. I was gravely mistaken because when I came back from my power poop, I saw the big bastard eating my breakfast.
How much did he get through?
Oh, he was just nibbling at the fucking bacon.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Uh, Trying to think.
On and
Fuck.
on, suddenly you'll remember. Yeah, that's why. And you were like, clock's ticking, and I'm like, cat's a bastard.
I know. Don't stress me out.
I will. I can smell you.
I can smell you.
God, that's an
Carriage
old
through.
video now.
Is that the one where it's the guys playing the Gmod thing?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
that was.
them playing hide and
Yeah.
seek or something with like and he just plays Morgan Freeman.
It's the one called The Hidden, I think, where I think one of the people on that was a guy called Sea Nanas who kind of just disappeared into the aether.
Yeah, I think that's
So
the guy who ran the fucking thing.
yeah, Sea Nanas was he was a big
Didn't he get
component
sick
of
and
YouTube.
die?
No, he's still alive. What happened was he basically. So what happened was he kind of like left YouTube for a bit, and it turns out that I think he's actually living in like a caravan, like he kind of like tours like America, but I think he actually built a house eventually, if I got my facts right.
Yeah.
So yeah, he seems to be doing fine, but yeah, he's kind of like taking a step back from like the YouTube making now, from what I've gathered. So. Which is insane to me because, like, he was like, there's always one thing that's crazy to me is like some of these guys are like on top of the world kind of thing in regards to that shit, and then they kind of just leave after a while, which I guess is better than them just coming out as like some kind of like heinous criminal,
You
So
you were surprised to find out that I don't live in a caravan because I said trailer. You thought trailer meant caravan?
yeah, in like in the sense that we're familiar with, yeah.
Yeah, and then we actually did a house tour one time on the computer box, and then you were just like, "Oh, this is just a house."
Yeah, and it's like quite spacious, I might add as well.
Yeah,
Right, just got there.
everything in America is brilliant.
I think. Let's see, horse carriage. All right, here we go. It's got myself a nice 3D model of a carriage.
Your CSP must be like 7 billion gigs.
Oh, it's probably getting up there, I would imagine. Yeah, because like there are times when I just go out my way to Like, there are times when I'll just fucking like spend quite possibly like I spend quite possibly like maybe like half an hour to an hour just downloading all the free shit that's on the studio store, you know? And that, you know, that in itself takes a while to download, so it wouldn't surprise me if a good chunk of like the C drive is just this shit. But hey, you know what? It's shit that I can actually go towards, you know, career as opposed to like playing like stupid games all the time.
Career. As opposed to
Mm,
playing stupid games. It is fun to play games, though. Once
yeah,
in a while. Not always, though. That's the problem that a lot of people have, is that they just kind of like, oh man, why can't I finish like a comic, or why can't I finish this? And then, you see them on Steam playing a game
just
for
constantly
16
playing
hours.
like yeah.
I thought about I thought about how like my friends act, or like just people in general nowadays act, and I've come to the realization that there's a difference between being eccentric and being childish.
Yeah.
So I'm eccentric. Like, I'll make a joke at like really stupid expenses. I'll wear ridiculous fucking clothing. But here's the thing, when push comes to shove, I will do all of the things necessary in order to, do adult things, right?
Of course, yeah.
The issue is I've realized what the difference is when I thought about, some of our pals. Childish is when you're 32 years old and you're like, I don't want to eat tomatoes. Well, are you allergic to them or something? No, I just never liked the taste. I'm like, you are 32. It is a base ingredient in most fucking dishes. You can grow up today and eat a fucking tomato.
Mm.
You don't have to mainline raw dog it. Cook it correctly, and you might actually no, 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 no. That's childish. That's
I do
not
generally think
that there is not growing up.
I do think that, yeah, because now here's the thing, because you said video games. Now, are you gonna suggest there might be a bit of a correlation with people that are constantly like playing like stupid games all the time
Yeah,
as well? Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
because
So
that's
that's not just me.
individuals who are like, oh God, why can I never get anything done? What like I I actual thing that most people say. I would do. I would definitely do a comic if I had more time, as they're playing Marvel Rivals for 15 hours.
Yeah. I honestly, whenever I see that like conversation now, and then I see people make that stupid excuse, I'm like, no, 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 no. I know what the crack is
I
here.
get decompressing. Like, if you need to decompress, especially after doing like a long day's work or something, I get that. But if you're complaining about, like, not being able to do something like that, turn the hobby into the pastime. Because then,
Mm.
if you're like, man, I really need to I really want to make a comic or draw something, all of a sudden, now this is basically your video game. And you know the difference between a video game and this? This is a lot cheaper as a hobby.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I will say one thing though, and I don't want to like be too mean to this person because they're a really nice person, but when we were gonna originally try to do a colored comic, you know, there was one person we had in mind as a possible colorist, and it never happened in the end because we just never got around to like finalizing whether we are going to do this right.
Yeah.
But the friend in question does have a habit of procrastinating. And then not too long ago, they made a little post in their Discord server where they mentioned how they had like a thing next to their account, like a number basically. And they explained like, oh, if you're wondering why there's a number next to my name, it's basically all the things I owe people. And let's just say it wasn't 100, but it was well above 80. So
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
that's why I didn't do the Patreon, because the issue with a Patreon is that it's under, like, depending on how you set up a Patreon as an artist, you end up doing too much for one person to handle.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's why if I ever did a Patreon for my other stuff, like things outside of Hunni Bunny, I would have to be very very, very clever how to go about it,
Yeah.
because I also need to. There's also the reality too that this is not my main job, right now.
Yeah.
So like, there's the time aspect. There's also the fact like, do I even think I'm good enough to like justify, having a Patreon? Because I'm not ignorant to the point where it's like I know that I'm not like the best artist out there in terms of drawing. So there's even that thing. I'm like, am I? It's not like I have imposter syndrome. I hate that bollocks. But like, again, it's just like, do I think this is a good idea? So, but yeah, that's one thing that people get lost in when it comes to like Patreon. Because I think it is quite literally a case of some people probably just see like the dollar sign. They probably have like the dollar signs in their eyes when they see like the idea of doing a Patreon for the work they do. And it's like, no, you gotta. It's not a fucking money generator, dude.
It's
Like you
still
gotta.
work.
Yeah.
On the surface level, it seems to be easy because you're like, oh well, I just fucking pay gate my stuff for like a week and then put it out. But then you start adding extra perks and stuff because nobody's joining, and then those extra perks eventually come around to bite you in the ass because then it's too much work. Which I
Yeah.
have seen many times. I have been there myself, and I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, you're gonna fuck it up somehow.
Yeah, that's why as of now, like with my other stuff, I'm not even going to attempt to do a Patreon right now. But what we also could talk about as well is we also saw a couple of a couple of more X-File episodes,
Yes.
and we watched a really good one, and we watched one afterwards that was actually. It's also one of the few episodes where not only did it get negative reviews, but we're actually like probably in agreement, I would imagine. But first, let's talk about the good one.
So
We
the
watched an
good
episode called Ice.
ICE, not to be confused with the Immigration Service. It was a episode that was basically just the thing.
Yeah, it was very inspired by the thing to the like almost like as soon as it starts, like I thought like, oh, it's just going to be like a thing kind of thing.
But it does
But
have it instead of a alien that shapeshifts, it's got dem worms.
Them's worms, yeah. But it was based. So the whole premise is like, there's like a colony or something, or what would you call it, like a
It was
research
a research
facility?
facility in the Arctic.
Yeah, where they go to investigate, and then when they get there, they find out that everyone seems to have killed each other.
Yeah.
And so, straight away it's like, okay, is there some kind of like criminal thing happening here? And then eventually it clicks in that there's like a virus going around.
It's a parasite. Ooh.
Yeah. But the way they discover how to deal with like it's that thing too of like classic thing where, it's like, oh, it could be you. You could be the thing, you have the thing in you, or, all that like crap. And then the way they eventually deal with it was actually really good. And like the tension was like I remember I was watching, it's like, oh God, who actually could it be? I mean, obviously we probably knew deep down it wasn't going to be the two main characters, because obviously like you wouldn't have a show if they fucking died in this. But man, like that was a legitimately like. Did you like it? Because I actually really enjoyed that one.
It was really fun. I think the only thing was that I kind of called who was going to be like infected by Dem's worms.
Yeah.
It's like it's going to be the lady in the background because they're making this one scientist guy too much of an asshole to like turn him into a red herring.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
No,
yeah, it's probably going to be the lady. And then shock of all shock, it's her, get her.
Gotta.
The worm itself is pretty disgusting. I think the only like special effect that's really terrible is whenever they put it in the jar in the fridge.
Yeah, I mean, again, 90s, so it wasn't going to be the best.
Yeah, I
But
just don't understand why they needed to use computer graphics when it's a fucking worm in a jar.
yeah,
I don't know.
you never know. Well, so there was that one, which we really enjoyed, and it seems like we actually agreed with the consensus that everybody had. And then we watched the next episode, which
It was okay. It wasn't a terrible episode, but my colleague here is going to throw up the thumbnail that he sent me for the episode. This is an actual like fucking
that's the Wikipedia, yeah,
thumbnail.
yeah.
So there's a space ghost that haunts a guy that works at Mission
Not,
Control.
not to be confused with the Adult Swim show.
Yeah, there's a space ghost. He goes from coast to coast. He infects the mind of a astronaut that's like in mission control.
Hmm.
They, for some reason, bafflingly so, they decide to make all of the graphics for this space ghost in MS Paint,
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
and then they decided to overlay it over the character, making him look like.
Yeah, it's not now. Now, can I quickly say something real quick about that? If you on the Wikipedia article, it says right underneath the image, the episode was derided by one critic for its pretty decidingly unscary graphics.
Yeah, it was not. The episode itself was really well acted. Also,
Uh,
just to see, Mulder in because a lot of the Scully and Mulder are pretty fucking monotone. That's kind of like a running gag in the
Especially
entire
Scully.
series. They're just kind of like, wow, a monster. It just shot
Espe-
someone, didn't it?
Especially Scully, because Mulder's like the believer when it comes to like alien shit, and Scully's just like, for the most part.
Yeah, for him to be like, oh boy, I get to go to mission control. Oh, fuck yeah. Like, to actually
I
see
mean,
him care about something is actually a really nice character moment.
didn't they clarify that when he was a kid, he was really big into space stuff?
I was like, oh, I was really big into space stuff. Oh, you did the Apollo mission. Can I get it? Sir, I know this is going to
Again,
sound really cringe, but can I get your autograph? Like,
that's actually kind of
you're like,
adorable.
oh, well, look, Mulder's like facade of being like, you can't trust the government. Like, you never know what could, like, he's just like, oh boy, mission control, yay, yay, yay. Like Scully's like, Jesus Christ, dude, calm down.
Yeah. But I did like that, but I will say, I think generally the episode was. You know what I found really weird about the episode was that I don't think, aside from that one photograph, I don't think Scully and Mulder actually saw the ghost entity like directly themselves.
I don't think they saw the spaceship itself because, like, so they do a rocket launch or, like, a
Oh,
shuttle
it's
launch,
yeah, yeah.
and there some kind of like sabotage esque things happening to it, but it's
Hmm.
from Mission Control, and you can tell that they didn't have the budget for any kind of special effects. So a good chunk of this episode is them just looking at like blank monitors and like sweating.
Yeah. Because I am looking on the Wikipedia right now, and it says like the critics like shat on this episode, but like you and I kind of enjoyed it, but
It's
the
okay.
effects were kind of silly.
I think it's a watch it once to pass the time kind of episode. I don't
Well,
think I'd ever really go out of my way to watch it again, but I don't think there was anything ridiculously bad about it. Oh, you
you
would
serious?
think
Like
you would
you
think
don't
if
you
there
don't,
were
you didn't go on.
the one thing that I will say about it though is if there were so many problems with like a space shuttle, why the fuck would like the chief engineers leave like mission control? You would think that they would have a bed or something right next to there just in case something else happens. Why is it that every single time something goes wrong, they're about to drive to like Atlanta airport or some shit like, or like Dallas airport?
Yeah, yeah, I do remember. Like, yeah, because I could be like bullshitting, but like I think in certain jobs, especially when it's like a life and death sort of job, like you typically have like beds near the workforce in those types of jobs, you know. So like
Yeah,
why they didn't have that there was really. I mean, again, I'm sure when people write a show, they probably don't know shit about what they're fucking writing about. So
they actually did get a few things right. The FBI can go over NASA's head and have FBI agents in mission control.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I looked that up. I was like, is that a thing? Because I feel like NASA's like the government. I don't feel like they can just. And then I looked it up. It's like, oh yeah, they could just like they could just
Barging.
have guys in there. Yeah.
I see. I see. But yeah, I will say that you did fucking giggle at like the ghost, like
Oh, the
in
ghost
that like
effects is so
25,
fucking terrible.
because you giggled at that one bit with the
They look
the
worse
fucking
than
ghost.
the fucking shadow ghosts from the movie Ghosts with like Patrick Swayze.
Mhm.
They look worse than
Yeah,
that, and like those look pretty terrible. I'm not gonna
yeah.
lie. I like the movie Ghost, but boy, those shadow creatures are fucking bad, bad. Oh god.
Hey,
You could
can I ask a
probably just
question?
throw some screenshots up because it defies description on how bad these are.
I could probably do that in a sec, yeah. But well, when I edit, I should say. But I wanted to ask something real quick. So when I was doing like funny like side stuff for Funny Bunny, I would always draw Maven like smoking a weird pipe thing.
Hmm.
But I kind of did that only really for like the side stuff. Did we ever agree whether or not she should like smoke a pipe kind of thing, or was that just like something I did on my
I mean,
own
she could do that if
volition?
you want. Gives her
Well, I'll tell
something
you
to
what.
gives her something to do with her hands when she's doing like in the background.
Yeah. Okay, then I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, so I was doing like this thing for a tiny bit called Funny Bunny, where I was coming up with like made up scenarios of like the characters doing like stupid bullshit, and I kind of stopped doing it for the time being because I thought, why not just actually focus on the main comic?
Yeah.
But in the side stuff, I kind of drew her with like this like midi like kind of steampunk looking pipe that she would smoke from. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, you know, I don't think it would actually be out of character for her to like smoke a pipe like that.
Yeah.
So when the time comes, I think what we may or may not actually incorporate that. So yeah,
God, did we watch anything else? Oh, we went back to listening to Mashoku Tensei, the book.
yeah,
It's
and it's not
starting.
completely.
It's starting to
Yeah,
get better. Yeah.
yeah, he's not Rudy Tudius isn't a complete fucking animal now. So I mean, he still is, but
Yeah. Rudy Tudius isn't being fresh and courteous as much as
Rudy
he used to
Tudius.
be.
I love that we call him Rudy Tudius.
Rudy Giuliani.
Giuliani is the funny because you make him sound like you make him sound like the leader of Team Rocket when you say that. Oh, I just realized I'm not streaming. Hold on.
My favorite thing ever is, weirdly enough, I think I might know more about politics than my parents.
Oh, how so?
Because, like, Rudy Giuliani's doing a lot of stupid shit, like, now, right?
Yeah.
But they
Oh, is
were
that a
like,
real person?
yeah, Rudy Giuliani's like a fucking, like, he's like the district attorney of, like, New York or some shit. Or
Oh,
he
okay.
was, at least. And my dad was like, that Rudy Giuliani needs to fucking shut up. What does he even do? How did he even get there? And I was just like, oh, he destroyed the mafia. And he was like,
Oh,
what? And I was like, yeah, he was the guy that was like, oh, we could just like enforce we can bend the rules of like the fucking RICO Act and like, get a whole bunch of these mafia guys in prison for a really long time. Like, it was like, oh, he was the guy that did that. And I'm like, yeah, yeah. Rudy Giuliani basically killed the mob.
interesting. Now he wouldn't be the same person. Oh, right, you said so he's not the mayor, right?
No, I don't. He might have been. I don't know about that. But what I do know is that, like, specifically, he is the person. Whenever you watch a mafia movie and they start getting
Yeah.
like heavily arrested towards the end, and it's typically
Oh, was
like
that
in
was
like
that
the
gay guy?
1970s. It's because he like did that shit.
Gotcha, gotcha. Wait, was he? He wasn't the one in the Untouchables, was it?
No, that's the 1920s, bro. That's tax evasion.
Oh,
That's a different thing altogether.
okay. So I'm going a bit too far back. Okay.
Yeah, that's a bit too far back. Yeah.
Okay then. Okay. God, that film's a bit. What a fucking. It's not a bad film. But it's a bit. I do think the main character's a bit like
I am
goofy.
going to make a statement. I don't know if I did it on the podcast before.
Go on.
And you know what? This gets to this one in particular gets to get into a YouTube short because I want more people to get on my side on this. Kevin Costner is a terrible fucking actor. He is monotone in everything that he's in. He is not even really that handsome because he has a thumb head. So I don't know where all this like, but he's handsome though. Like, here's my thing. Kevin Costner is only famous and people only think that Kevin Costner movies are good because he surrounds himself with other people that act better than him and steal the show. Robin
Oh, you mean
Hood,
like Andy Garcia and Robert De Niro,
yeah, Eddie Garcia, Robert De Niro, and Sean
John
Connery in
Connery?
yeah, because he's like I'm fucking Nash and I will arrest all of the alcohol men. Thank you. And then in fucking Field of Dreams, he's like, If you build it, they will come. And got James Earl Jones and shit coming out of the tree line, and he's like, "Hello there, son." You're like, "Oh, okay." Or Robin Hood. You have Morgan fucking Freeman and Alan Rickman hamming it up the entire movie. And then you have him like, "I must defeat the Sheriff of Nottingham."
Okay, yeah.
And
I
then,
mean,
and
I've only
then,
ever seen
and then,
Untouchable, so
and then in the fucking in the Bodyguard, nobody even remembers that fucking movie because all people really remember about that movie is "And I will always love you." So yeah, Kevin Costner is a hack. Not only is he a hack, every single time he does a project where he's the main fucking focal star, every single one of them, Waterworld, The Postman, those movies fucking suck. Because people realize he's a shitty fucking actor.
okay then.
People are starting to realize that shit with fucking Yellowstone. They're like, "Hey, Kevin Costner kind of fucking sucks in this." Oh, no, he sucks in everything. Duh. Name me
So
one
anyways,
movie. Name me one movie where he's not playing a monotone douchebag.
I mean, I don't watch movies all too often, so
Oh,
my only reference is the Untouchables.
Dances with Wolves. I was going to the West, and when I was there, I realized the beauty and splendor of America. And you're just like,
Yeah.
fuck, how does this motherfucker... You want to know? You want to know the actual reason of why fucking Kevin Costner has a career?
Why?
He took all of the fucking movie projects that Mel Gibson said, "Yeah, I'm not doing that."
Oh, so you think you got lucky because some other guy refused it?
Yeah, he got all of the Mel Gibson roles that Mel Gibson was like, You're not paying me enough for this. I'm not going to do it."
Okay. Yeah, because it is funny because in the Untouchables, like he doesn't, even though he's the main character, he never really stood out to me like in memory.
It's a better movie than The Untouchables too. Like, because I do like The Untouchables, but there is a better version of this plot. It's called Gangster Squad.
Gangster Squad. Oh yeah.
Gangster Squad is a fucking awesome movie, and what's great about it too is that instead of it being Al Capone, it's about Mickey Cohen.
Mm-hmm.
And Mickey Cohen was a fucking psychopath. I mean, Al Capone was a psycho, but he was also just a massive lying shit talker.
Is this the film with Josh Brolin?
Yes, it has Josh Brolin. It has honestly, it has everyone in it. And unlike Kevin Costner, they can all act.
Yeah. Maybe I'll have a look at this later.
Yeah.
One thing I did take away from the Untouchable. Well, two things I did take away from the Untouchables was when they're interrogating that guy who like one of the criminals, and fucking Sean Connery's character's like, you're gonna talk how about now, and then like he picks up a dead body and just like shoots it in the head against the window, just oh no.
Yeah, he makes it seem like he shot a guy in the head when the guy was already dead.
Yeah. So fucking... I remember like giggling, but like, oh god. And then also the bit where the main guy, Kevin Costner's character, like throws a man off the roof, and the green screen effect looks kind of funny of the guy falling.
They also they also steal a shot from like the battleship Potemkin. There's a movie. It's one of the first movies to use montage, as in like, different images that aren't correlated, but it creates like a visual picture of the entire surrounding environment.
Okay.
It's the scene where the baby carriage is going down the stairs. That is like directly ripped off from the battleship Potemkin.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. By Albert Einstein, who is not the same guy that you're thinking of. Different guy.
Einstein, yeah.
Almost the same name, different guy.
Oh, all right then. Let's see here. Oh, by the way, I did watch that video about Stop Killing Games, more specifically Ubisoft.
Okay.
So what Ubisoft has basically done in regards to the current Crew game, the one that is actually like, the Now game, is they've preemptively, just in case they get fucked over by the movement, they've actually finally added an offline mode to the game, so I found out that the game already sort of had an offline mode, but what it was it was heavily gimped to the point where like all your online shit just didn't really apply to the offline mode originally. So
Yeah.
then they're like, shit, we need to do something about this. And what I find hilarious is they do that typical corporate thing of like, oh yeah, we listened and we're finally going to do it. It's like, no, you didn't listen. You listened to the fact that you might get fucked over by this movement.
Yeah.
So
They all like, yeah. Hey, you know what? At least they fucking did it. They didn't. They didn't constantly say, "No, I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do it. I didn't do anything wrong." Just
yeah.
say fucking sorry, dude. Yeah, I'm not gonna say I'm sorry.
Are you on about the funny man?
The funny man.
Oh, speaking of the funny man, some news broke out 2 days ago.
Oh, let me
Did
guess.
you know?
When this shit went to court, he was like, "This is bullshit."
No, 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 no. Nothing to do with that. That I couldn't tell you. But there's a high chance that so one of two things have happened. Either A, he's fired all of his mod team, or B, they've all unanimously left together.
Well, to be fair, his mod team were kind of cringe.
I mean, they stuck with. I mean, what say what you want, because to them, I would imagine it was a job. But apparently, from what I gathered, I think he did or said something that kind of suggested that he didn't really have much respect for them. Which, to be fair, given his current track record, it does not surprise me. But I think they all just like, yeah, you know what, we're moving on from this.
He likes to talk mad shit. That's my thing. Like,
Yeah.
when I talk mad shit, if I say something really ignorant and somebody's like, "Hey, man, you need to cut that shit out," I'd be like, "Oh, yeah, you know what? You're right. I came off mean there." For some reason, this guy is just like, no, I'm right all the time.
Oh yeah, he can't for the life of him just own up to his mistake. I'm sure there's a thing where some people don't want to admit they're wrong. I mean, I imagine we all want to be right, but like, it's another thing that you just, could actually realize that you made a mistake. And he's a narcissist. Like he can't do that.
Yeah.
It's not in his DNA.
Well,
Yeah.
Art Software, he's just a guy. He's a human being that got really popular, even though he is flawed. And there's nothing that you can really do about that.
One thing that is definitely confirmed though is a lot of how he always he always never talks about he worked at Blizzard.
He never ever talks about the fact that he works at Blizzard. Never.
Well, never talks about it. But
Yeah.
there are people who worked at Blizzard at the same time as him, and they all pretty much confirm, like, yeah, he was a nepo baby. Like, he's only there because of his dad, and on top of that too, like, it was also the type of
He
thing
didn't do
where
anything important.
he didn't do anything important, but not only that too, it's that kind of like nepotism where like you actually couldn't really say anything bad about him or about the company. Otherwise, not only would you get fucked in that company, it could actually like wreck you in future like prospects.
Ironically enough, when we were listening to Mogworld, that kind of gets brought up where like this like that's because Simon is a fucking idiot, and because Simon is a fucking idiot. Yeah, but I did like Interstellar Bum Pirates. Well, that's because Terry worked on that entire game. I feel like the bum pirate part is probably his idea though.
The bottom pirates. But yeah, God. It's one of those where I don't really want to talk about him too often because I feel like the more any attention is good attention for some idiots, but
No,
still,
this is the internet. Talk more shit about him. He crashes cars, flips missiles.
he eats babies. No.
He punches the souls out of babies. Like
No.
he's aghast.
It is a lich, a ghastly ghoul.
This is all comedic. We don't actually think that he's doing any of that because he
No,
doesn't leave his
we're
house. So that way we
God.
don't get slammed with libel.
Yeah, he to be fair, we're so like we have like no.
I wouldn't put it past him, to be brutally honest. But my thing is Did you know the reason why drill sergeants get really fucking creative with how they insult people is because they're technically not allowed to insult people, and they are still bound by the law, so they can't actively threat someone. They can't be
Oh,
like, "I'm
okay.
gonna punch you in the fucking face." Like they can't. That's an actionable threat. That's why they say shit
Hmm.
like, "I'm gonna punch you in the goddamn soul."
I see. So it's like a lightly threat in a weird way, or
I'm
like
going to
a
PT you
disingenuous
until
threat.
you die.
Yeah.
There is no that means that you are going to work out until you collapse of death, which that's not an actionable threat really.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like that. That's why whenever I say really stupid shit or like really threatening shit, I always say it like in a way where it's like, oh yeah, the fucking. My favorite one that I've ever heard in my entire life is "I'm gonna change your life."
I thought I thought he was going to say the Hadouken one.
No, oh that one's I made that one up. No, that was I will. If you keep going down this road, I'm gonna Hadouken your gender off.
Yeah.
Which is like, what the fuck does that even mean?
I like to imagine like you punch someone in the groin so hard that it just goes flying off.
Yeah.
Oh man.
God.
Whew. Let's
Man, that
see what
Bond
else. I'm
movie
trying
was terrible.
Yeah, I wasn't too. I was really not impressed by it. And honestly, when you told me that Roger Moore was too old for it, I was like, really? And then I looked at his face the moment he walked in that room. I'm like, yeah, this
The
guy's too
first
old.
the first full frame shot of his face, you were like, "Oh, he's too old for this." And
Yeah,
it wasn't like a mean one. It's kind of like a sad like, "Oh,
yeah. It's like, yeah, he shouldn't have really done this one.
it's because they wanted to get um Pierce Brosnan to be the next James Bond for like the rest of the 80s. The
Hmm.
problem is that at the time Pierce Brosnan was doing Remington Steele, like the TV show,
Hmm.
and they were just
Hmm.
like, "Well, shit, what do we do? Well, we got to find somebody. We can't find somebody. We got to make another fucking Bond movie, otherwise people are going to like." So they're like, "Okay, well, what do we do? I guess we got to do Roger Moore again." And he's like, "I think I might be too old for this."
Yeah.
But they did it anyways, and then yeah, and then right after that they did Timothy Dalton, and I honestly think Timothy Dalton did a really good job.
He's fantastic. I honestly wish he had at least a third one, but like two good
Goldeneye
films
was
is
going to
better
be
than.
Goldeneye was going to be his last one, but because of the time gap in between the two films,
Mm,
because he did License to Kill, and then he was originally going to do Goldeneye when like Goldeneye's script was a lot different.
yeah,
Realistically speaking, like the Goldeneye script was actually a lot more violent because that was the idea for like the those particular Bond films.
oh,
And
they're gonna
then
like amp it up.
yeah, that's why if you watch like the Brosnan movies, Goldeneye feels a lot more like a Timothy Dalton movie because it was originally written for him.
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, I was impressed by Timothy Dalton, and I actually rather enjoyed the George Lazenby one. But like, there are just like really weird edits, and even then, the story's a bit
Naff.
strange at
Yeah, they did a
times.
lot of
Yeah.
jump cutting, fast, like speed up camera photography. There was like, it did have one of the like probably the most violent scene in a Bond movie where that guy gets thrown into the snowplow and he just like
Oh yeah, yeah.
he just like
I do wonder if they actually wanted to have James Bond be like a mature like series when they try to push the envelope.
yeah. The Bond
I
lady
would
was
not
really
be a.
hot in that. Also,
Oh, she's fucking gorgeous.
canonically speaking, in that she's one of the only reoccurring plot elements in because him having a dead wife that comes from that movie.
Oh really?
Yeah,
So that's interesting because,
James
like,
Bond being tortured by his dead wife comes from that film.
no shit.
So say
See,
what you
that's
will about
interesting.
George Lazenby as like, a fucking shitty James Bond. He did change his movie did change the lore forever.
Yeah, yeah. I will say though, watching that documentary and how the contract that he would have signed was literally called the slave contract is really funny, and I kind of don't blame in a way for him not wanting to do more, but
I
I
mean,
think didn't he have like slight regret for
if
it?
you see a lot of those movies, they're actually like really cheap, low budget shit films.
Yeah, to, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so you're like, yeah, I thought this James Bond shit was supposed to be like really classy, well made shit, and we're like, no.
Hmm.
Because, like,
Now,
I think you started realizing very early on that James Bond is kind of like a really schlocky, campy, low budget thing when we
yeah.
watched From Russia with Love, because it got to the point where that they go to the camp of travelers,
Oh God, yeah.
and there is a traveler woman fight.
Yeah, they have like a cat fight, and it kind of adds nothing to the plot
Yeah, it
when I
does
think about it.
literally nothing to the plot, and when you watch it, you're like, I know why they made. I know why they put this scene in the movie.
Mhm. I don't know, man. I don't know that. I mean, it was better than Doctor No, at least.
Oh no, that movie's great. It's just that you can tell that scene was, oh my god, the laser disc commentary. Yeah,
Like a Neanderthal, something like that.
she
Yeah.
walked like a Neanderthal. So for this scene where you can't see her face, we actually got a Swedish model. I said, could we possibly get a model that has the best legs in all of Europe?
I think the funniest one to me too was probably. I mean, we're not going to quote all those like laserdisc things
We
because
can't.
it's not
We
exactly
literally
cash
can't.
money.
We literally can't because like we would get in so much trouble.
I'm going to say one of them, and I'll decide whether I'll censor it. But there's a couple of funny scenes that involve like a belly dancer,
You know what?
and
We should preface
should
this
just
by
play the thing.
saying there is a laserdisc commentary for the first three Bond films where all of
Yes.
the old men that made James Bond just you realize that these were really scummy dudes from like the fucking 60s.
From the 60s, and so it's very much of the times. And man, like the things that they say in these like commentaries, you'll be like, wow. Like I told a guy last night because like I've been chatting with a couple of people about James Bond, and I told them about these laserdisc commentaries, and when I told him one of them, he's like, whoa, okay. There was God. I remember there was one which I don't know. I'll say it, and then we'll decide if we censor it later. But
Remember,
like,
this is not from us. This is from like guys that probably fought in World War II.
right. But like, it's the opening where you got like a belly dancer with like the credits, and one of the men just says, "There she is, wiggling her, there she is wiggling her fanny." I'm just like,
That's not
wow,
that's not the worst one.
yeah.
The
But
funniest one, the funniest one is from Goldfinger.
see, I haven't watched that, so I can't. The reason why I want to watch Goldfinger is so I can listen to those commentaries.
Yeah, but God, I can't even. I actually can't repeat that. That one's like really fucking bad.
I do think it was hilarious when they talk about the cat fight though, and the one of the guys says that the women actually did hate each other, so it actually added to the performance,
Yeah,
which I don't know how true that is.
God. Also, like everyone else, because a lot of the audio tracks were recorded separately from each other, so almost everyone who worked on these movies was talking mad shit about the other people that worked on this movie.
Oh, they slag each other off all the time.
Yeah, fucking, they're constantly calling like the editor a gay man. Fucking,
Yeah,
they're constantly like shitting on each other. Like they're constantly talking about how either a drunk they were while they were making it, shitting on Sean Connery for being like a prissy fucking actor, or or they're just talking about how many of the actresses they've like slept with. And you're like, oh my God.
There was one that stood out to me was when they talked about. I can't remember if it was Doctor No or the second film, but it was on about how they had a list. They had like pictures of like women that were going to be potential like Bond girls, and then eventually they selected one, and he's like, "Oh, you can keep the rest of them for yourself." Like the pictures. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So like a man just owns like probably all these like bikini images to himself. So well, I mean he's dead now, but yeah, fucking.
I talked about that with like, Arnold Schwarzenegger. My friend and I were watching like Running Man yesterday. Like
Oh
the
yeah,
original
I've
one.
been thinking about watching that.
The original one. And I realized why a lot of blockbuster action movies don't really work. So in the 90s, you had government bad, like secret ops kind of shit, which is fun and all. But if you wanted like the raw meathead fucking goes over there, shoots everybody movie, they have to kind of be built to be right wing movies.
Oh really?
Yeah, they kind of have to have that, like, oh yeah, the only way to solve this problem is with a gun, and he's fucking pissed. Like, it needs to have that level of energy behind it, and you can't have him be like a crying emotional bitch.
Not really, no.
No, it needs to be like raw meat, manly man gets fucking everything changed when they came after his wife. Now he must go and destroy the entire mafia. Like almost every single, and then like everyone in the movie is a macho butch asshole.
Yeah.
And if there is like a romance, it's barely in the film. It's literally just nice tits, baby. Yeah, and that's it. And it, like I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Like, if you were politically motivated to make a movie, that type of movie is not in your wheelhouse. If you're fucking left,
Yeah, it's not even like in the cards for you to do that.
because at some point, you are going to wink to the camera and say that this is ridiculous and I don't like this.
Yeah.
Which is the death nail of any, like, movie that has a ridiculous premise. If you wink to the camera and say, isn't what I'm doing crazy? Like, I want to distance myself from this project. The moment that you have that in a movie, it's basically dead.
Yeah.
The only time that you can get away with something like that is if the movie is self-referential, like if it is meta.
Or like a parody or a joke.
Like Wayne's World or fucking Deadpool. Those would be examples.
Oh yeah, I mean those films were built. I mean, it actually like plays into Deadpool since he's always like taking the piss.
Well, yeah, he understands the meta commentary.
Yeah.
But yeah, that works. But you are riding an exceptionally fine line when you do that.
Mm-hmm. Oh man.
God.
I watched a good action film. Oh, well, then again, James Bond, but that wasn't a particularly good one. But I've realised I haven't really watched that many action films in a while. I think I kind of just like gone off them for a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just browse Amazon one day and just like take a chat. Because you ever have that problem where you browse like a streaming service? You're just like, man, so many options, can't pick.
Oh yeah, the I call it like the death light from fucking It.
Yeah.
Yeah, you basically just get your brain wiped by just staring at the screen.
I remember James Rolfe did a video of him like browsing Netflix, and it spoke to me on so many levels because he's browsing Netflix trying to like figure out what to watch, and then he'll be like, I know, I watched the show Lost. Oh, it's gone. Could have sworn it was here. I guess I lost the chance to watch it. And then he's like, I know, why don't I watch Indiana Jones? Oh, it's not on here. Wait a minute, what's this? A student film where they recreate Indiana Jones? So the actual Indiana Jones isn't on here, but a student film is. That's actually the reason why I can never fuck with streaming services. And to be fair, I think it's actually starting to catch up with a lot of people because
If you
There
want
are
to
some
save
people.
a ridiculous amount of money, what you do is you go to a thrift store where they're selling DVDs for like 50 cents to $1, and then you
Yeah,
just get all of the fucking movies that you really want to see. You buy them, and then you have them.
yeah. It's because that's the thing is streaming services, like people are getting really tired that there's like a billion of them now, and on top of that too, like there's also the problem too. It's like not everything's going to be on there. Like even my, I remember even my dad kind of shat on like streaming services where he's like, "All right, I want you to test something. Look for a film called Blue Aces. Oh, it's not on there. Oh, all right, try looking for this one. Aces High.
No, you have
Oh,
to
not on
go.
there too.
You have to
Nope.
go to Google, type the entire name of the movie, and then because like a lot of movies decided to keep the same exact name as their sequels, you have to type in the movie, the year it came out, and then you have to specifically say where to stream.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then
So it becomes
the
a
first
process.
three things are going to be the AI response, and then off to the side is going to be a pictured diagram of all of the places where you can actually see it.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. It's such a mess now. And there's also that fear now too of like, sometimes streaming services, like some of the films aren't exactly the same version now. So like I remember some like old Christmas film was on Amazon and like there's a scene that's just been deleted for some weird reason.
Yeah.
So you just can't really win. That's why, and then of course, you also got like the extreme cases where like episodes get like removed because it's not cash money anymore because of like topics.
Oh, my favorite thing is Disney Plus censoring movies.
Oh, are they started doing that now?
They did do that.
Hmm.
There's like a movie with Tom Hanks where there's just a lady's ass and then just like covered it up with like CGI hair.
Wait, is this a Disney film or is that just a film on there?
It's a film on there.
I see. I see.
And you're just like, I mean, listen, if you want it to be a children's platform, then don't put that movie on there to begin with.
Well,
If you're
that's what
gonna
surprised
if
me.
you're gonna be like that. And then it doesn't even make any sense anymore because like now they own Hulu, they own fucking like Fox. So like, you open up Disney Plus and then if you don't have the children mode activated, there's just like fucking Alien versus Predator like right there.
Yeah, it's really confusing. Yeah, like I mean that's one thing that surprised me with Disney Plus to begin with was because I had it for a tiny bit because my sister gave me like a password for she had it in like a deal when she brought like a phone or something. It was like 2 months for free or something like that.
Yeah.
And the thing that surprised me was because when you have a thing called Disney Plus, you expect it to be like a hub of everything Disney, which for the most part it is, right?
Yeah.
But I remember browsing it and I was like, wait a minute, I could watch Tombstone on here, and that's actually how I watched Tombstone for the first time. Was a Disney Plus of all
Rated
places.
R movie by the way.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what surprised me, and that's when I had the realization. And this is my theory as to why this is the case. I think they realized that having a streaming service that's predominantly like a kids thing is not going to be profitable whatsoever
You
for the
all,
most
you start
part.
to run out of movies.
Well, exactly, yeah. So the way I see it is they probably realize like, okay, we're gonna make money from the families, but wait a minute, what about the people who are gonna like want to just watch like movies, like the couples or the just adults in general? It's like, well, shit, what are we gonna do? Like, no one's gonna so I got like some adults not gonna go his way, but I want to watch the Mickey Mouse show or something like that. So then they'll be like,
Yeah.
all right, here's what we do. We're gonna to appeal to all the the general masses. We're gonna have just films on there as well. So
Well, yeah, of course. They basically just made like they basically just made a they made the Disney Channel with more steps.
kind of,
They made the Disney Channel with more steps. It's literally just that. Yeah.
yeah. But
Because
yeah, I'm never
in the
gonna.
mornings and the afternoons, that's when you get all your fucking like cartoons and shit, and then in the evenings, that's when you get all of your fucking like Malcolm in the Middles and bullshit.
It's also a funny thing too, which also kind of goes to show you why I definitely feel like they did that as well. Is when I was using Disney Plus for those like 2 months, I wasn't really watching anything Disney related. I was watching the fucking Spider-Man show from like the 90s for the most part, which wasn't originally a Disney thing to
It's
begin with
so
because that
bad
was made
though.
before.
What's
I mean,
interesting is that it follows the comics very well. The problem is that because of really dumb censorship shit, they can't
laser guns.
do any like, and eventually they can't like show Spider-Man punching people and all this other shit. So he has to like, they have to find really creative ways in order for him. But it is one of the best interpretations of like the Venom plotline.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. But I do find it funny because yeah, like the guns, for example, are like lasers, even though it's not particularly like a sci-fi show from what I remember.
Yeah.
And then yeah, like because I remember you telling me, I was like, how come the Batman show got away with it? And it's like, oh, it's because it's all old guns that you can't really get anymore.
Well, the other thing too is that it had Steven Spielberg money, so they could get away with it.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, it's the same thing with like, oh, why the fuck does Gargoyles have real money? Like why does Gargoyles have like real guns? And then I was like, oh, well, that's very simple. They were trying to make a show to compete with Batman.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, so those had guns, and they got away with it because the studio put a fuckload of money behind them.
Okay. It's fucking 3D models, I swear to God. This pretty much gets the point across, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good, good. I'm still watching The Simpsons on and off. It's fun stuff.
So wait, you watched Tombstone? Did you like it?
Yeah. So this was like 4 years. This was like during like the thick of COVID. So yeah, I watched Tombstone with Val Kilmer and what have you, and I really really enjoyed it.
I'm your Huckleberry.
I'm your Huckleberry. You just tell me when.
All right, Lunger, let's do it.
The part, the part that always sticks out to me, and I'm sure everyone thinks the same thing, was when they're having like that big gunfight where what's his face just walks out into the open and he's like, "No, no,
And then he just like fucking walks up to
no!"
him and shoots him point blank.
Yeah, which
Now,
by the way, that's real. That actually
yep.
happened more or less.
What's interesting is that was a, there's no fucking way that actually happened, and then you research it and you're like, oh no, that literally happened. Yeah.
So they were surrounded by cowboys, and the main guy kind of just realized they were fucked anyway. So he's just like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna go out in the open and just confront him." So that actually
Yeah.
just
What's interesting to me is
No.
that it's one of the few movies that actually gets the scale of like the actual like OK Corral correctly. It was literally just like, it was in between two buildings, and it was just a place to like stop your horses.
Oh yeah, it was like,
It's
and
like,
isn't there also debate about whether what they did was justified or not?
oh yeah, that's a big legal battle thing because they did kind of just show up there and shit. One of the reasons why they didn't go to jail is because one of the guys surrendered, and then they didn't shoot him.
Okay.
But yeah. Also, I don't think Doc Holliday was actually like there when it happened.
Oh, so they
What they did get right, though, is a lot of the timing events, how quickly it happened, and how shitty the actual corral looks. If you go on Google, you can actually find the OK Corral. They haven't changed it, really. It really is kind of just like a shitty corner.
I do also find it hilarious. What I did find it really hilarious was, so as they're like walking up to the OK Corral, there's just a building that's on fire. And apparently in real life, there just happened to be a building that was on fire that had nothing to do with the actual shootout. So they actually put that in there like as accurate, to keep it accurate to like the time period where it's like, oh yeah, there was just a building on fire with nothing to do with the firefight, by the way.
Yeah, well, that has to go into the actual making of the film. Oh, my wife is here. Hello, waifu.
Fine. Have you guys watched Hell Paradise yet?
Yes.
Oh, the anime. We're like at episode 4. Well, I am anyway.
to finish it. It's so good.
It was literally like you were watching it and you're just like, this is something that I would write.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
No,
I was watching. I was like, did I write this?
Yeah.
because I watched it at work and I show it to him, and he's like, "Man, I need to show this to Taco."
My favorite thing though is like whenever that happens, whenever we'll watch something and you're like, hey, Daniel, did you write this? Like,
Yeah, you have the same thing too. Yeah.
yeah.
I think another thing too about that was I instantly recognized one of the characters, which was like that Kunichi character, the female ninja. And I
Oh
was like,
yeah,
wait a minute, I've seen that ninja before.
Yuzuriha,
Yeah.
who has the same exact name as the earmuff girl from Doctor Stone. So when I heard Yuzuriha, I was like, what anime? Which one had the same character name?
Zulia.
Yuzuriha.
I like the
Yeah.
Scarface one. I forgot his name already.
I like Sword Dragon. Sword Dragon's my man.
He's hilarious.
He was like, first of all, he gets everyone's fucking names wrong. Secondly, he immediately got his hand bit by one of those fucking like,
That was insane.
yeah,
when
and he was just like, yep,
instantly cut it off.
chopping my hand off. Wah.
That was fucking insane. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the monster designs are like legit scary as well.
I need to use the bathroom. It is a toilet emergency.
Okay.
I just realized something.
What's that?
My husband has a bone saw.
A bone saw?
Yeah, like the olden days, back in the days, you know, the tool that you saw bones.
Like, he just has that in his room?
Yeah.
Huh. Are we talking the one where it's like the thick sort of like bone saw?
Huh?
Is it can you see his Discord? Is it this one kind of thing?
Discord.
Yeah. Like do you see the chat, the Discord chat? Is it this one?
Yeah.
So it's like that one where it's like a solid like blade, yeah?
Oh yeah, it's literally a blade. If you want, I could take a picture of it and show it to you. It's just right in front of me as I turn around because he's like, I gotta use the bathroom. And all I saw is a bone saw. I was like, wait, hold up. When did we have that?
Yeah, yeah.
Which is, I don't
Bone saw.
mind. It's cool, anyways, to have like old history, vintage tools from the hospital back in the day. But it's big too. Yeah, hold on. Let me take a picture of it and show it to you.
Are you taking a picture of my bone saw?
I did not know you have it. It's crooked.
So I may or may not leave this in the podcast.
Oh, that light bulb
Yeah.
is about to die. Great. Awesome.
Yeah, I have a bone saw, for cutting bones.
Yeah, I have a bone saw. I have like a Soviet syringe that's like reusable. You just have to like boil it or put it in alcohol. I have like
Do you want this to be said online?
don't show up to my house. If you hear stuff like that and you decide to show up, don't. It's a bad idea. No.
Oh, you know what I've also been watching as well is did you ever watch The Real Ghost? Oh, hang on, let's have a look at this photo.
The show.
Yeah. Oh wow, that is just a legit bone saw.
Yeah, it's literally right there.
I like how it's just tucked away next to like wires and shit. Like you should probably not put that there.
How's about you? Don't tell me what to do.
You don't pay my subscription.
I don't have a subscription service, you fuck.
The
Yeah,
funny
not
thing
yet,
is,
anyway.
what I want the, back in the day, how people fix their eye or whatever go close to the brain. It's the tool that
Yeah.
it goes in the eye and you hammer it.
You want to get a fucking lobotomy spike.
Yes.
That's literally just like an ice pick, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you thought I was weird. That's my wife.
It's not as bad as I. I'm not gonna say anything else because I forgot this is gonna be on YouTube.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's my wife.
Bye.
Bye bye. But I was gonna say was I was browsing the internet.
Us incriminating ourselves. Sorry, yeah, the real Ghostbusters.
So I was just watching that as a goof, and it's not bad, honestly. But I will say though, they fucking crank that theme song like no one's business.
I will say one thing about it. It's really interesting to see that in the cartoon, the guy is voiced by the Garfield, and then, years later, he plays Garfield in the Garfield movie.
Bill Murray. Yeah, they probably he probably just has like that same kind of like voice where it's like, yeah, no, Bill Murray could actually just play like Garfield. But yeah, like the way it's like very, huh?
I'll be back. We are leaving that in the fucking pocket. Wow.
What happened?
The neighbor's house is just on fire.
Wait, what?
Yep. Like, actually on fire.
Did you call? Is the fire brigade?
They're already there. Yeah. Luckily, we live right next to them. I'm going to double check to make sure that doesn't spread. Let's pause it for a quick.
Yeah. Did you call? Is the fire brigade being called?
They're already there. Yeah. Luckily, we live right next to them. I'm going to double check to make sure that doesn't spread. Let's pause it for a quick.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. The fumes are really bad. I'm going to tell Justina not to go outside yet.
Do you want to stop here then?
Yeah.
All right then.
We can record a little bit more later.
Well,
maybe tomorrow.
Well, I was gonna say it's like 5 o'clock. It's like almost 5 now, and I leave at like 7:30. So like, I don't know if that's gonna really be plausible.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, we could probably do a big one tomorrow then. So you want to call it there then?
Yeah, we'll call it there.
Okay.
We'll do a big one tomorrow.
All right then.
I'm gonna keep an eye on that to make sure it doesn't spread. Okay.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you later. Don't forget to stop recording.
Yep. I already